Hello again, everyone. Welcome back. We are starting off 2019 with our first review, and we're going to start off with a big one, a good one, I hope. This is the brand new Tabernacle Havana Seed number 142, Toro. Now, a little bit about this cigar, and it's quite unique. The big thing about it is the American-grown Havana Seed wrapper, featuring what is a hybrid wrapper grown in Connecticut. This wrapper uses an extended fermentation process, and the leaf is incredibly oily and full flavored, so they say. The leaf itself is quite thin, making for an extended fermentation process at a lower heat. The tobacco has been curing for almost 3 years in Nicaragua under the watchful eye of Abdel Fernandez. Some of you know him as AJ. In addition to the Havana Seed number 142 wrapper, the blend consists of a San Andreas Mexican binder and a combination of Nicaraguan and Honduran fillers. The cigar comes in 4 sizes: Corona, Robusto, Toro, and a double Corona. And again, today's choice is the Toro 6x52. Again, wrapper, U.S. Connecticut, Havana Seed number 142, grown in Connecticut. Binder, San Andreas Mexican. And the filler is Nicaraguan from Esteli and Jalapa, and Honduran from Jamastran. So, made in the Tabacalera Fernandez factory. Let's get right to it. The brand new Tabernacle Havana Seed number 142, Toro. There's a fair amount of talk online about this cigar already. I actually have this size, the Toro, and a Robusto, just in case there's a significant difference in the flavors. I could report to them, or report to you on them. All right. Pretty good draw. Took off a little bit there. Well, the first flavors are unmistakable chocolate and dark roasted coffee combination. Now, the chocolate is sweet. There's quite a bit of influence of the coffee, but intertwined between the chocolate and coffee, you have nutmeg, no surprise there, but there's sort of a caramel-like flavor, giving it a little bit of a sharper sweetness, with almost a buttery type aspect. I would not call it buttery, but it has a very smoothness to it. The cigar is smooth. It is not at all sharp in any way. There is a little bit of a high-end sweetness to it coming from what I'm calling caramel, because it's just something on a lighter note with that smoothness and almost butteriness to it. Black pepper, roughly 7. It's not as much as I thought it might be, but I'm gonna call it about a 7, which is a good average amount. So that's sort of how we start. Actually, it is how we start. So let's just see what happens up until the first third. Well, we are at the first third. right about 4 inches left. And I'm not sure you'll agree, but I think the reviews last year went pretty good. Scoring was pretty good. I'm looking back at it a lot, and I'm pretty satisfied with it. So the scores this year will be pretty much based on what we did last year as far as when I look at a cigar, I look back at the scores and I see what other cigars had, and I'll put this cigar in a particular category that'll match up with that number. And I think we'll be about consistent with what we did last year. And I'm always going to try to sharpen the edge a little bit and make a little better review. So hopefully it'll work out. Now, the flavors have melded together very well. You have, at this point, as it transitioned through the first third, the cigar continued to be very smooth. That's one thing that catches my attention very much with this cigar. It's very smooth. Quite a bit of nice chocolate notes, a lot of coffee notes, caramel making it smooth and sweet. There is undeniable nutmeg there, and you'll detect it. You'll see what I mean. The cigar is very high-end, medium to full-bodied. It's almost full-bodied now, so let's call it a high-end, medium to full. The finish has a lot of aspects of that chocolate, and some of the caramel, because it's quite sweet on the finish, and a little lingering black pepper. Not an overabundance, but there is some. I think the black pepper actually has ticked slightly up during this first third. This is a very impressive cigar, unlike the original Tabernacle completely. I mean, it's just, you don't even think of the original when you're smoking this cigar. But this is quite impressive at this point. So I'm starting it off with a 94. It is very good. Now, first cigar review of the year. Come on, Tim, you're giving Scott, scores to. No, I'm telling you what it is. That's my impression. This is a 94. Quite impressive cigar. As it goes, we'll see how the scores go. But at this point, 94. Well, we're pretty much here at the end of the second third. It really technically is about halfway between the end of the band and this other part of the band, but I wanted to stop it right there where it gets to the main band, and we'll call that the end of the second third. The only thing now that's very different is I'm getting some light cedar notes, and the cigar is full bodied. You still have the other notes just as I described, and it's still maintains that smoothness. You will notice how smooth this cigar is. For a Connecticut wrapper, a hybrid Connecticut wrapper, this has very little aspect of what you typically would think of as a Connecticut. And look how dark it is. But it's very good, quite full-bodied, a lot of good chocolate and coffee notes, and the caramel, light cedar, and nutmeg rounded out pretty well. There is, at this point, no reason to change the score, so I'll maintain the 94. This is a good first cigar of the year, don't you think? Well, folks, we're down to the end, so let's wrap it up. A couple of notes impressions on this cigar before we get to the final scoring. Have you noticed every time I've come back, the burn line is just about perfect? There's where the ash fell off for like the second or third time at the most. And look at where it starts. It's just dead even. And look at the burn line now. It burned perfectly. The draw was great. You know those faint cedar notes I talked about in the last segment? I didn't really get them a lot more now. That wasn't a big plus or a big negative. So it's a wash. It doesn't matter. Cigar is very full-bodied. The flavors are just like I described previously, so there's no need to rehash those. The nutmeg is a creamy nutmeg. It is not intrusive. It adds the nutmeg flavor to the others, but it's very smooth. Again, that word smooth keeps coming up. This is a smooth cigar. It is very tasty. It is very good. I see where I've already posted where I was going to review this cigar today, and someone commented they like this better than the original Tabernacle. I won't go that far. I like them both. But this is an excellent cigar. Great start for 2019. Now, in this final third, with nothing really losing, how can I change the score? 94. Now, this year, what I'm going to do is I'm going to score the cigars. As you know, I score them in thirds. So I'm going to start using the raw score as the score. If it comes out to 93.67, that's going to be the score, 93.67. I'm not going to round it up because that's going to play into the final scores for the year. In this case, with nothing changing throughout the cigar with the scoring, the final score is 94. This is a solid, good cigar from Tabernacle. And AJ did a great job on it here with this hybrid wrapper. So there you have it. The new Tabernacle Havana Seed CT number 142 Toro 94. Welcome to 2019.